Live in action with map number 2 here. It's a Mirage between Rocket and Evil Geniuses. And, well, we're going to see a little bit more space out of Rocket. We haven't exactly seen them keep pace just yet here, John.
No, not at all. We need a lot of more out of them. Nero's going to be one to watch in particular on a map like Mirage with the AWP, especially since they're starting CT side. We'll see how that goes. But another pistol round, Evil Geniuses charging in on their T side, and they're not wasting any time. Good to see. Flashbang thrown by Walco, who's taken the opening fight, and he is going to lose it. Junior gets the first, though, and then George finds the follow-up, and all of a sudden you have a man advantage anyway for EG, and make that a two-man edge.
Yeah, and I mean, the retake's even going to be a little slow to get in here. Droid's not really in position to fight with Aleph at the same time. Aleph will wait for his teammate at least, but they're stuck in market, and now it's just Droid. Good shot from Junior.
Oh, good shot.
Snappy on it without a kit. This one's fast, looking like an impossibility. And indeed, it will be so.
Yep, it's just a great fast execute from EG. Walco, like I said, the adjustment that EG has made is that he's typically taking those opening fights and doing quite well at them. As we saw on Ancient, he was the top frag with over 17 frags. I don't know what he ended up finishing with, but it was a good number. And over on the Rocket side, we didn't see much of that at all. I mean, we saw the quick plays, but they didn't necessarily have the frags in place. And they're going to call a timeout immediately here. And they're not shy about using their timeouts at the very least, but it didn't really yield much of a difference after they called them on map number 1. We'll see if that changes here on map 2, as EG are already, after one round, going right into the AKs. 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the MAC-10 Rocket not going to invest at all, it seems, just the dry USPs.
Makes sense based on, what we saw in their predilections in the first map.
Yeah.
But,
is there a deagle there?
Elk apparently has no gun.
Yeah, I think he has a deagle, or he bought it after. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. He has no gun.
Something's gone wrong.
Yes. Did he refund a deagle? Yeah, that's what happened. He refunded the deagle and didn't get his gun
wind up
back.
with the USP.
Yeah.
Well, all good. It wasn't a fast hit from EG, so he didn't have to try and knife fight his way out of this one. It is a full A stack, and they seem to have read this decently well because, well, right now, there's no information for Evil Geniuses on B, and they are set up for the A take.
They're just going to go for it.
Why not? USP bullets hailing through. Still the firepower advantage, even with the stack here. It's going to be tough to make this work, and indeed, one by one, the executions do come through. And they'll keep it clean on the EG side.
Wow, that's impressive for EG. I mean, yes, I know it's just USPs, but to keep everyone alive and not have a single player go down against that stacked site with all 5 players waiting there, pretty nicely done. 2-0 for EG, looking like they're continuing that momentum from the previous map. That makes it 12 rounds in a row for EG. And Rocket will finally get the guns up and running. It's not going to be a perfect buy because you have a FAMAS in the mix, but outside of that, it will be M4s and a good chunk of utility. Automatic, Walco, and Junior setting up to go towards mid. The mid smoke for window has already been thrown. They don't have one for con, but no one appears to be peeking. And ooh, they tried to pop that smoke on Rocket's side. Didn't work out, and then Walco says, hello, here you go. You got a nade at your doorstep, Nero, and takes him down.
Con smoke setups. Droid could get anything. Would be nice to alleviate the pressure here on R2DJ. Oh, but it's not going to happen. An automatic will collect the kill.
Oh.
And this is going from bad to worse for Rocket. A little bit of damage for Elk. Extra kill, or extra damage rather onto Junior, but they only have 2 players left to defend it. They're completely out of position to deal with this A-take. So it looks like they're going to pull the ripcord, play for a save, and they should be around on for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say they're out of position, Mike. I think they were already playing for the save at this point because they didn't really feel like they would have a chance against 4 EG players charging down in their direction. So Aleph's in the apartments. Droid's going to follow up and join him. They've got a decent amount to save. You got the M4, the FAMAS, and some util along with Aleph investing in both the head and body armor, which will still be valuable against Galils anyway. That's going to do it. 3-0 for EG. You saw a bit of the more methodical, slow EG play in that previous round. Here they go a little bit faster, taking the A site. And you saw Elk try to win that fight towards the bottom of ramp, and he almost does. I think he had Junior down to something like 18 HP, but or it was automatic. Either way, just short of giving his team the edge.
But short by enough. Close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades, as the saying goes. But let's see if anyone's got hand grenades that'll work in this one. There's one grenade for Aleph. There's enough to work with to make this interesting. The 2 rifles, the upgraded pistols. Could get a little bit of juice going here. Oh, that's cool. The nade into underpass, both nades underpass, and pops the window smoke for a peek.
Okay, whoa,
Kills
hold on.
here in mid. Now things are getting spicy. Things are getting interesting. That's a great shot from Nero. This round is on, but a recovery perhaps underway.
Oh, that nade.
Oh, speaking of a chunky nade, we were talking about at the beginning of the round. Now it comes through, and Walco has a very tough 1v2 to try and pull off.
This feels like a certain bomb plant if he goes to the B site quickly, though, because Aleph and Marcus, or R2D2J, are both waiting over at connector. But instead, Walco's trying to play the 200 IQ game. He's hoping that Rocket will rotate to the B site, or at least have one player rotate so he can catch them off, potentially towards mid. Or he can get another flank. I mean, he's got the chance for a flank. I don't know if they're necessarily watching for this.
I think Aleph is positioned to
you're
watch
right.
it.
You're right. Yes.
Should be relatively tough. I mean, you could still, peek one-shot headshot, but should be instantly traded. And slow peeking this. He's still going to get the kill. Reads it. Not. Doesn't realize the second player's over. He's hoping they're isolated towards sites, and they can get the bomb plant off. Not a bad gamble. Comes down to one player surviving, but it's still a huge win for Rocket.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a buy-up regardless for EG, but definitely a nice hold over there on the A site. Few good deagle shots coming through, pistols singing for them, the 5-7 as well. And yes, they pick up a round. Will it just be one round and that's it, is the question. I mean, they got a couple of upgrades. I think actually only one AK picked up in that previous round. Everyone else going to buy up, and 2 AUGs. I mean, the AUG actually is pretty good in CS2, as it wasn't, of course, in CSGO, but with Subtick, having that ability to have complete accuracy on a scoped weapon tapping away, it's extremely powerful, and that's why Rocket are going to lean into a couple of them. I don't know if it's going to be enough against EG. You need to be perfect every round to defeat a team like this.
Nero getting feisty here in the underpants. Automatic. We'll pull those on down. Leave Nero surprised, embarrassed, ashamed.
Oh, R2D2.
Now second kill comes through, and things aren't getting good here, John. Off the back of the paws, Rocket not having a great time off of this one.
No, most certainly not. That's a tough peak to take against a player like Junior. Oh, automatic overlooks one, and that will be the first frag for Rocket. Okay, they've got some indication that it could go to B. That would be, of course, the wrong indication. Elk spots a player in Palace, says, wait a second, and then doesn't realize George is that close. So it will be a site taken. Flashbang goes out. Rocket don't have the money to go for an extended fight here. They might call for the save, especially with that utility sailing in towards trap. Yeah, and a left tries to go for a fight, gets one, but now they know he's there. He's going to have to tuck tail.
He's going to fight this. He's going to fight this.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice, but I mean, you are getting to that situation where your money's going to be weird. Kind of feel like this might be your better chance.
I want to reload if you go for this.
Not getting that first kill certainly has to make the decision for him. Gave himself a chance, didn't connect. Now he's got to back away.
All right, well, he ends up saving, even though I do admire the attempt. Like you said, if he gets one there quickly, it could be interesting, but he doesn't, and he just completely backs off. Og will be saved, and Buyup will be, I don't know, maybe just the Og around some pistols. Either way, EG are going to isolate that one-round victory from Rocket and take a fourth for themselves. Junior is just looking incredible, as you would expect from him on a map like Mirage. The last time they were here, though, was actually George, who was the top frag with 27 and a 97.5 ADR. That's, again, I should clarify, 27 frags, not in 12 rounds won, but 16 rounds won, because that went to overtime.
Always good to have the numbers.
Yes. It's a lot harder to get 27, even, well, 25 frags even. In MR12. What a shot from Nero. That's
right.
Both his frags coming with the deagle.
Some heaters on the Deegies. Let's see if EG can recover. With a captain on down, autimatic will quickly even up the line here. And he's just going to leave. Set up Hext for the first of his game. He doesn't. It's not that he's having a bad game. He just literally wasn't needed in another round,
Exactly.
Right?
He only died once.
Otherwise, was just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
Still advantage for the evil geniuses. Once more, an isolated Aleph does have the big gun, but they're coming his way. And they're coming with a Fury. Sound a Fury and an Anger.
Oh.
And an Anger that will be satiated with blood.
Lots of blood as Droid sees his teammates fall by the wayside. The thing for Aleph there is there's a window of opportunity. There's a moment where he could have gotten that frag on Junior because they were overlooking bench due to the amount of sheer utility and Molotovs they tossed in that direction, but he just couldn't lock onto the player and take him down. So that means that the big gun is lost. And Droid, can he get anything? I don't think so. He's probably just looking for exit frags here. But not much. He's going to enjoy spinning his deagle. Holding down the F key at this point, inspecting the gun. He should be fine to live. He will save the armor and the deagle.
Purple glows with the print stream do go kind of hard.
Oh, they do, yeah. Print stream was nerfed a little bit in CS2. Still hasn't been fixed. It will be eventually, I like to think, because it's...
it's just like not pearlescent in the same way?
Exactly. It's just looks pure white as opposed to having that pearlescent nice finish that it used to have. So it's a little weird. But it'll get fixed. I have faith in Valve.
At least with skins, they do tend to fix those things.
Yes, yes. Very adamant skin community.
Uh-huh.
Myself included.
Yourself definitely included. Good shot from Miro. Getting it done with the ult this time. George taken down. Had the line, but that was a ripper. So again, a 5v4 for Rocket. This quickly got out of control last time, but they just had pistols. Now let's see if autimatic can recover it again. DJ this time's looking for him. Woo-hoo-hoo. Weird fight there, but R2D2J will eventually bring it through. I gotta say, I think you should get rid of the second D2. And just like, instead of it being R2D2, he's R2DJ.
Yeah.
Spinning on the discs.
I mean, I think you've been calling him that quite a bit. You really do.
I
like
have.
It, so.
It's very wordy to say R2D2. It's too many syllables, man.
You got to respect the Star Wars.
It's not intentional. I'm just muffing it.
I know. It's okay. Just bugging you.
Too many letters. Too many letters. And numbers. Simplify.
Overloading Mike's brain a bit. Come on, Marcus. Have some respect.
Ooh, that's going to be heard. Player in ladder now knows.
Okay.
And R2D2J. I got it right that
there
time.
We go.
Come back out for the kill. So that was good space, right? That's going to sting a lot for EG. If they'd managed to work the player up cat, things were getting real spicy as it is. I think Junior's just saving.
Yeah, see, this is where, okay, Junior's going to get one, and they're probably going to know where he is, so they're going to charge forward. That would be a mistake, because I think he's going to kill them all. Yeah, there you go.
Boy.
The ace potentially in a losing round.
Swing,
Is Elk going to peek,
swing.
and he does. Oh, and Junior can't hit it. Oh my goodness. That is so bad though for Rocket because yes, you win the round, but you haven't won in so long that your economy's not great. So now you have 4
Yeah.
players need to buy with less than 4K.
And you also just feed Junior's absurd statistics.
Yeah.
He's grinning right now. This one's going right on the stat page.
But, I mean, overall, that was a good round from Rocket, but it felt like EG went back to their older tendencies of taking way too long in a round on T side, whereas the quicker rounds tend to favor them a lot more in CS2.
Yeah, I think maybe spent a little bit of time trying to recover the 5v4, right?
Of course, yes.
Now we get a bold top mid play. Droid could catch something here. Flashbang sailing over. A little awkward. Caught the tease, actually. But Droid's committed out in the open, and yeah, they can't keep fighting this. There's too many bodies here. They've realized it now. But R2D2J, he's going to catch a hefty nade and be forced out into the fight and forced out into his death. So really nice response. You've been losing that 5v4 in towards mid. This time for EG, you punish them. You bring the numbers, you punch them right in the jaw.
I'm surprised Rocket went so aggressively there because the passive play is what paid off in the previous round, and this time they're just charging into mid, charging down ramp. Autimatic takes the head off of Elk, and well, Aleph ends up being the last one standing once more. It's going to be a save for him, but it's only an MP9. That's tough, especially after such a convincing round victory. One of the first they found, I would say, even in the series. And okay, Aleph gets his head taken off by Autimatic, who finds himself a 3K. And it's 6-2 for EG.
Well, 2 rounds was what they got in Ancient.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do better this time?
I think so. I think they're going to pull off another round here before we're done.
Just only giving them 1 more.
At least. I'm saying minimum.
He's not optimistic here, folks.
What?
And, well, I mean, frankly, all logic and factoids point to not being optimistic right now for Rocket.
Yeah.
Tough to hold much water for them. And this is another round where not much doing. The Deegs have actually been their most effective guns in some. Not going to be so here. The bomb will be planted, and Aleph will be once again alive. The lonely life of a B anchor. Either you die first, or you die last.
And last again it is. 7-2. EG have already taken this half, and they're looking for more. Looking at Rocket's buy-up as well. It will be better this round. I think Util will be a little bit tight. It still should be enough to fend off an EG push should they decide to go for a quick one, and they haven't as of late. In fact, the reason that the fights have been going so quickly is because Rocket is taking the initiative and pushing into mid at the beginning of both the last 2 rounds. So EG, here we go. This looks like it could be shaping up to be an immediate A hit. They've got the flash thrown into Palace. 3 players lined up, alert towards B. That's Autimatic, and that nade does a decent chunk of damage. Droid again wants to push into mid. They're trying to take that fight. They won't give up on it. And this time they see that nothing's here, and only 1 player left in the A side. He's isolated because of a smoke, and he goes down. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Oh, the push-up. I mean, this is desperation at this point, right? Everyone's trying to make individual moves. This has been one of our concerns with this team before. They're not really cohesive. The timing isn't quite there. Sometimes it doesn't look like they're necessarily talking to each other. It's the kind of thing they can settle in a blowout like this. You know, comms go quiet. No one's feeling very good about their game. That kill back from Aleph still should not give them any confidence to go for this retake. It's got to be a save. It's just the reality of it.
There's no way. No kit, right? And too far.
So an 8th round on the board for the Evil Geniuses as we come to the close of this half. It's been utter domination. At least a little bit of a consolation prize there. But obviously at this point, EG do not really care about losing bodies. They just want kills. And Junior will find one.
I mean, the money's so good they could all die and it won't matter. They'll be able to buy up for the last 2 rounds.
You know, bomb deaths, dying to bomb doesn't show up in your stat sheet anymore.
Really?
I mean, I suspect it still does on HLTV, but it does not in the Counter-Strike server. See, Junior's still 15-2.
Is that a recent change? Because I feel like in the beta and
since CS2.
Release. Really? Okay. Well, I didn't realize.
I don't remember whether it changed partway through the beta, but it has been that way as long as I can remember in CS2.
Fair enough. I mean, I think it's better that way, but at the the same time, I am curious about the stat. I feel like bomb deaths are almost certainly higher in CS2 than they ever were in CSGO, just because
Sure.
the radius is being so much larger.
I think it makes sense from a casual perspective of you want to encourage players to defend the bomb until it goes off.
Yep.
But I think from a pro perspective, obviously saving, keeping your gun alive is a talent, and it does impact games. Just an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Rocket have withheld themselves from the aggression in this round, restrained themselves, one might say.
I mean, you have to at a certain point. Nero can't.
Ooh, Nero's going forward. Wants to make something happen here. Is he going to get caught? Hasn't been seen yet. Woohoo, now he is. And automatic's there. It's a 1-2 punch. Nero thinks he's got an isolated fight. Maybe. No. No luck for you. R2-D2J gonna try and get a little bit of a fight going here from Catwalk. And Droid at least can connect one, but he's a dead man. A 1-2 punch of George and Hex is too much to bear, and so man advantage on for the geniuses.
George spotted out that player over towards Ticket. There goes the util. Elk's in a really tough spot. He's going to get burned down, and in fact, Junior finishes him off with the op through the smoke. Automatic gets R2D2J, and a last one standing again. As you mentioned, that B anchor.
Yeah.
Always tries to come in and help, but oftentimes it's as the last player. And Aleph, I think he got spotted.
Aleph walks the lonely road. The only road for him. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics to that song.
It's all right. I don't either.
That's a throwback, man.
It's a great song.
Green Day. You know, is it a great song?
I think
it was a lot of fun at the time.
I think it's a good song at the very least. It's definitely stood the test of time.
I'll take good. I have to give it a listen again. I feel like there was this period of time that's very funny to listen back to, of like the emo pop punk music, where just everyone like started singing sarcastically almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just like little on in the singing voice. I don't think that's held up that well.
Maybe.
Massacre here on as we discuss the music of our childhoods.
Yeah.
My childhood. Your teen years?
Yeah, teen years, yeah.
This was my teen years too. And that will be the half. 10-2. A massacre in our final round. We'll be right back.
Look up to the stars.
back in. And this one, well, speed running tonight's broadcast. Evil Geniuses matching their first map scoreline as well as 10-2 at the half there. They did not drop around in the second half, so much hinges on this pistol. And they repeat the scoreline. Nero doesn't think so. Nice kill early on. Autimatic trying to get cheeky there into the palace. But there is more work to be done. And Nero will not be the one to do it. Still, this does seem to be a pinch on towards A. They may not expect the second player to come out of Palace. That could be a little bit cheeky, but Junior getting it done. And now George from Catwalk as well, causing major problems. It all falls to Marcus, or R2D2J, as we say. And he's not got enough bullets to match the number of names he's got. So it is going to be 11 on the trot for EG.
Sorry, I was just trying to see if all the letters in both names added up to 12 rounds, and it doesn't. So technically, it's he's 2 letters short from having a full magazine of USPS bullets. Anyway, that's not important.
There you go. These are the things we need to analyze.
Yeah.
When the game is not giving us much meat. Give us more meat, Rocket.
Please.
Where's your meat?
It's all bone.
All bone. Nothing of substance here, and well, a meager meal autimatic will make of it. Chewing him up, and it might just be the ace. Oh, he's got the 4-piece. Can he get the 5-piece meal combo deal? Doesn't know the player's in window. Doesn't know the player's in window, and so the ace will be denied. But that's all that R2D2J will be able to do.
That's the 3rd ace throughout this series that's been denied. Hex had an opportunity. Junior, of course, that AWP play that really kicked things off here for EG in terms of their dominance. And now Autimatic, who's up to 17, though, and Junior at 18. It's just been a field day for EG. Like you said, Hex hasn't had to do much, but he hasn't been bad either when he's been called upon with 6 frags. And yeah, 12-2 again with EG. Having 10 opportunities to close this one out. Rocket, of course, forcing no choice. Their backs are against the wall. They do manage to buy up a Galil, but everyone else onto SMGs or pistols.
Oh.
Nice nade. George could be dead, and he's still alive. How is he alive? Hex and Junior get 2. Hex finds another one, and it looks like it will be with a DK. The end of the match.
All right, a little bit of fun there on the tail end, a little bit of celebration, but it's EG all the way. They absolutely massacre everything to do with Rocket. I mean, repeat 2 back-to-back 13-2 scorelines. That was pure domination. EG looking